Good morning, everybody. Welcome, Cap Nation Live. Wednesday, the 2nd of December. Glad to have everybody tuning in with us. Welcome. Joe Free says the GOAT. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that elevator music. Picked up the soundtrack in the doctor's office yesterday. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Who's ready to rock and roll? Who is ready to rock and roll? We got college basketball. We got soccer. We've got the NFL. According to Scott, I'm on a cold streak because Free Plays had one losing day. Cheers, Nathan. Rocking that coffee this morning. Greg, good morning. Hopefully you're doing well, brother. Haven't seen you in a few days. Hopefully you're doing well. Lenny G, good morning. 79 people in Roland Strong, only grown. Greg Engel. Focus Sports, Mr. Brown. Casey Davis, what is going on? Mr. Keith Davis. Jeremiah, Nathan. Brandon Bryant, congratulations on your big winning day yesterday. Marcola, good morning. Everybody, good morning that's tuning in. Jeff, my brother Jeff. CVAC, good morning. Shane Russell, good morning. Joe Free in the house. GA in the house. Yo Schmig, Scott, Michael B in the house. Michael Z in the house. You got a Joe Chris, a Joe Free. There's all kinds of Joes everywhere you look. Todd, good morning. Neverez, good morning. Daniel Lambert, good morning. Glad you like the clock. I know I'm probably going to miss a whole lot of you, but that's fine. Last of a Dying Breed, good morning. Manuel, good morning. Scott Stevens, good morning. Travis Williams, Fast Freddy in the house. The sound effects machine will be here sometime today. All of that good stuff will be here sometime today. Anthony, good morning. Rich, good morning. Brandon, good morning. Everybody, good morning. Jay Shep in the house. Jay Shep, it could take anywhere from a minute to an hour usually. Just they got to wait till I think there's one, till it's confirmed on the blockchain, I believe. Allie's View, good morning. Chris, good morning. Darren Masters, good morning. Chef Fam, good morning. Says, hammer the Indiana under versus Texas. Thanks, my guy. You're very welcome. Put out a little lean on that one yesterday. Glad to see everybody here with us. Katie Lee, good morning. Big Afro Kid woke up early for once. Glad you are. My ass has been oversleeping. Must be not enough sleep. Steven Sanchez, good morning. Said you pounded Virginia. Very nice. No, Rich, I probably won't use the sound effects too much. We'll liven it up when we need to, though. We definitely appreciate it. Joe, when you hit the thumbs up. Definitely appreciate it when you guys do. Robert, good morning. Justice in the house, good morning. Glad you missed the elevator music this morning, Justice. Pat, good morning. Good morning. And for everybody that I did miss, I do apologize. It was nothing personal. That I promise you. To our new members that signed up this morning, welcome on board. Perry, I know you got on my personal place. I'll be in touch here after the live show. Jacob, I know you've already been on board. Welcome back on board. Joe, good morning. Oregon 245, good morning. Congrats on your winning day yesterday. Personal play started out 2-0. We dropped Valparaiso and ended up 2-1. No harm, no foul there. Still put money in our pockets. I would have much rather had a 3-0 than a 2-1 day. That's for sure. But hey, you can't always. We'll get it today, though. Personal plays are not out. Premium plays are not out yet. We got NFL today. College hoops today. A little bit of soccer today mixed in. Old smorgasbord. NBA training camps are underway. Mike Z says, so the 2 thumbs downs, are you guys mad about free plays? Because personal premium was 3-0 for NCAA. Not bad. Oh, maybe that's FedEx. What's this bum pick on Madrid yesterday? I didn't give out Madrid yesterday. I didn't give that out as a free play. I said I leaned towards it. But thanks for tuning in, Daniel. But I'd have to say the only bum is probably you and your mama. I don't use any free music, Seth. I don't use any free music. The music that is played is paid for. You have to pay to be able to use royalty-free music. Never as today is. It was actually supposed to be last night. It was supposed to be the last night. Was supposed to be the end of Black Friday. Brandon Bryant saying, I gotta chill. I am pretty chill. Pretty relaxed. Rio, see? I love it. Brandon, it's never too early for that. You want to come here with nonsense? It's never too early for that. Might be early for you because you're just rolling out of bed. DA Sports Consultant, what's going on? Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Layla, good morning, if that's how you pronounce your name. Dude says he's chill for people saying dumb shit, right? John Ryans, good morning. Right, Jeff? Right? All kinds of people coming in here that don't have a clue what they're talking about. But yeah, I don't use any free music. We paid for the music. We paid for the rights to be able to put the music. Hell, we had to pay for the right to use that goat sound. Imagine that. Focus Sports Kyle, you remind me of a WWE wrestler talking shit to the haters. Ian, good morning. Justice says tough guys behind a keyboard. I just let my betting do the talking. I let my bankroll do the talking. That's a fact. That is a fact. Nathan, it arrived sometime today. I just looked it up. It was because I heard a big truck a little bit ago and a big, sound like a box dropping, which it was. It just was the wrong box. I looked up the tracking information and it was still at the FedEx sort facility. So sometime today. Hopefully it gets here before we close. That way I can take a look at it and load it up with some sounds. Rich says Tom Brady has the GOAT sound trademark. No, what it is in order to use anybody's audio, most audio, actually anything that's recorded out there, is copyrighted. Seth S. says it was a joke. I know how the music game works. Absolutely. Absolutely. But no, we paid for the rights to use it, including the damn GOAT. Any thoughts on Borussia Dortmund and Chelsea? I do like Borussia today. I do like Dortmund today. Jimmy O, I haven't been on Twitter this morning. I'm refreshing this computer. Right Focus Sports. William tuning in via text. Good morning. Doctor was good yesterday. Did an allergy test as well as checked out my nose and scoped out my nose. I got to look at my sinuses yesterday. It was interesting. It was interesting. Poked me 64 times in the arms with these allergy tests to find out that I'm allergic to like nothing other than some of you guys. It's about all I'm allergic to. I'm looking at it now, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate the comment. Appreciate the comment on Twitter. Sent me a message on Twitter. Okay, I'll take a look. I'm not sure which one I'm looking at. What's your name on Twitter, Murphy's Law? Oh, interesting. I think I know which one is yours. I get a lot of messages overnight. All right. Richard, glad I didn't come back with a third nostril, right? Well, he almost did. Gouged me with the camera on accident. put this big ass stick up my nose and it was a camera. I got to take a look at my sinuses and all that cool stuff. Actually, not really. It's kind of gross. It's kind of gross. Robert, they're definitely pissed they couldn't find that line on Mobile Community College yesterday. A lot of great games today. And they says those little pokes always swell up. And I don't even think he poked it. I think he just kind of like scraped it. And I was like, hey, what's that? What's that bleeding right there? He's like, oh, sorry. He goes, accidentally bumped you. I'm like, ah. I must have missed something in the chat today. But Focus Sports wins the Comment of the Morning award. Some people must have no responsibilities and no life to come into a channel and hate. To sit here and type a bunch of BS no one wants to see or hear. Do yourself a favor and get a life. That statement I do agree with. Just says it's your nose, it's sensitive, right? It definitely is. What do I think about 13.5 total points for the Steelers first half? I'd have to say that you should probably watch my daily free play video, and when you're there, make sure you drop a comment. Did he try and dope me up and get free plays? No. I did tell him that I liked St. Mary's in the evening, though. Is the Steelers the absolute nuts? No. Remember that time the Packers were playing Tom Brady and the Bucs, and everybody said it couldn't be done? Can't say we're going to compare the two teams like that, but just remember, anything can and will happen. Anything can and will happen. Sawyer, maybe you should read the notes. Maybe you should read the notes at the very bottom. I mean, if you guys don't read the notes section on the website every day, it says today's premium plays will be posted around 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's only 10:39 Eastern Time. But they will be posted at some point by then. Just not ready yet. Not playing any early games, so it doesn't really matter anyways. And I believe they're in the process of actually updating that. So I'm sure if you hit the refresh button in the next minute or two, it probably won't say that. Do I think the Steelers are overrated? No. They have probably the best defense. Big Ben at the helm. One of the top coaches in the league. Receiving core led by Juju Smith. Schuster's not too bad. Got to throw some love to the Trojan. That old running back that they have is not too shabby. Big Ben, the haters will say he's washed up. But then you just look at his record this year, and you see that he's not. He's playing some great football. Scott says, sounds if you had to take a COVID test, it would hurt. Today, it would probably hurt. Today, it would probably hurt. It would probably hurt. That's for sure. That's for sure. A COVID test today would probably hurt my nose. But nonetheless, said it looked good from surgery and all of that good stuff. So that was a positive note. You know, as far as the game goes today, we're gonna break it down. I've got some strong opinions on it. I'm not a fan of the number. I'm not a fan of the spread by any means. By any means, not a fan of it. But we're definitely going to break it down and try and find some other avenues other than what I put out in the daily free play video. The only washed up QB is Tom Brady. You know, I disagree. His numbers are on track. He already has more touchdowns as of right now than he did entirely last year. He's got a better passer rating as of right now than he did last year. He's got more yardage. He's actually trending up compared to last year's numbers. So to say Tom Brady with a offense that he's new to, no OTAs, no training camp, you know, I think a lot of people want to dog him because he's not winning every game. He's got less interceptions with more touchdowns as of right now than he did the entire year last year. Antonio Brown's been with him for 4 games. They were always going to be a 9-6 or a 10-6 team, or excuse me, 9-6 team. You know, that's what their record was trending towards. If you thought Tom Brady was going to come in and win every single game, if you take a look at what they did last year, they were 7-9. 7-9 with Jameis Winston. And all those interceptions. If you were to take Jameis Winston's mistakes out, Bruce Arians' coaching mistakes out, they would have been a 9-6 team last year. They'll bring Tom Brady in to change that. Or 9-7, 10-6, excuse me. And they'll be right there, either 9-7 or 10-6, and make the playoffs. So, to everybody that says that he's washed up, overrated, he's doing horrible, his numbers are better than last year. His numbers are trending up. Rich says hard to make passes when you got 0.3 seconds to get rid of the ball. J-Rock says so does Wentz. You know, I'm not. I've never been a big fan of Carson Wentz, but he is a good quarterback. He's got nobody to throw to. He's got a horrible offensive line. He actually put a quality team around him, and I think Carson Wentz's numbers. I don't drink the Tom Brady Kool-Aid. I just look at the stats, and I can tell you. I can look at the stats and tell you. I can look at what they did last year with Jameis Winston. I mean, that's Common knowledge, they went 7-9 last year with Jameis Winston and all those interceptions. Les Myers, that they definitely, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones Jr., or the second, whatever, his lack of using them, it's like they forget they have that two-punch combo all the time. But if you guys thought that Tom Brady coming in, that he was going to just somehow magically change and they were going to go perfect, win every game, no OTAs, no team, no training camp. I mean, take a look at last year. And I'm definitely not drinking the Tom Brady Kool-Aid. I just read the numbers. The numbers don't lie. They were 7-9 last year with Jameis Winston. Had a 60.7% completion rate. He had 5,109 yards. He averaged 8.2 yards per passing attempt. 71-yarder was as long. He had 33 touchdowns on 30 interceptions. With a passer rating of 84.3. What does Brady have? He's got 3,300 yards through week 12. He's averaging 7 yards per passing attempt, 28 touchdowns to 11 interceptions, with a passer rating of 95.1. So to say that he's washed up and he doesn't have it, he's doing better than what the Bucs had last year by far. Way far. Frozen screen, perfect. Let me get that unfrozen. Hopefully it's a flattering face. So to say Tom Brady's washed up, I'd have to say the stats don't lie. I'd have to say the stats don't lie. When you take a look at Tom Brady's numbers season to season, when you take a look at his numbers season to season, last year he only had 373 total completions through the entire season. He's at 307 this year. Last year he hit 60.8% completion rate. He's 4% higher than that already. He's at 64.8. I'm just comparing last year to this year. Last year he threw for a total of 4,057 yards. He's at 3,300 even as of right now. Manuel, good morning. He's 757 yards off his 2019 numbers. He's averaging 7 yards per passing attempt. Last year he only averaged 6.6 yards per passing attempt. So he's actually throwing the ball farther. He has 28 touchdowns this year. He only had 24 last year. He had 8 interceptions last year. He's got 11 this year. But he's throwing the ball a lot more. You throw the ball up more, you have a lot more chances for interceptions. Just the way the world works. Last year, his season long was 59. So far this year, it's a 50-yarder. He was sacked 27 times last year. It's only been sacked 16. Last year, he had 3 fumbles. This year, he only had 1. Last year, he had a passer rating of 88. This year, he's at 95.1. So, again, am I drinking Tom Brady Kool-Aid? No, sir. No, sir. I'm just reading the numbers. I'm just reading the numbers. Plain and simple, just reading the numbers. Focus Sports says, let's remember Goodwin was out 5 games. Evans was out a few games, and it's not because he had good wide receivers all the time. Look at Scotty Miller numbers this season with Brady, career highs. So, there's that subject. And it's not that he's not winning games. Last time I checked, it's definitely a team sport. It's definitely a team sport. So there's the number. So am I drinking the Kool-Aid? Not at all. I just read the numbers. I just read the numbers. That's all I can do. Base my opinion on what I see in the numbers. Other than that, that's all you can do. That's all you can do. Today we definitely get an interesting game. Today we definitely get an interesting game. I did see that Dobbins and Ingram, who were ruled eligible to play, I did just read something. I'm popping it up right now. It says Baltimore Ravens J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram not expected to play. Not expected to play in Wednesday's game, even though they're both eligible. They did not travel yesterday, as technically yesterday was day 10. Albert, you should have no problem. I would imagine you have no problem. Be interesting to see that they show up to the team or to the game and end up playing. Nathan, they're ruled as unlikely to play. They didn't travel yesterday as Joe Free. They can still get there. They don't have to travel with the team. When they ruled them eligible to play, by the way, that line moved a half a point. So they were already ruled not to play. Then they said that they were eligible to play for the game, and the line moved a half a point in favor of the Ravens. So them not making the team playing was not a big factor. Was not a big factor at all. How are the Ravens going to fill a team? They'll have plenty of players. Anthony said the Ravens are giving up this one and looking to the next. I wouldn't necessarily say that. When you take a look at the Ravens injury report for the game. Are there a lot of, and keep in mind, it even has the likes of Ingram and Dobbins still on the injury report, even though they were eligible to come off of it this morning. So it'll say like Calais Campbell, he's on the COVID list. Jimmy Smith is questionable with an ankle injury. Morgan Cox is on the reserve COVID list. DJ Fluker, the guard, is questionable with a back injury. Mark Ingram is still on the list, but yet we already know he's coming off this morning. Focus Sports, that's because they weren't moved to the active roster as of yet. They can be if they decide to play him today. They can move him to the active roster because they're eligible to come off of the reserve COVID list. William, can you purchase with a debit card? Sure, absolutely. You purchase right on our website, cappersdirect.com. Click on the premium tab. I'll post a link for you here. Give me 1 second, I'll post a link. Pick up the big combo package, 3 days of premium plays. A lot of great stuff rolling on. Here's a link directly to everything. Yeah, William, $99 gets you 3 days of my personal plays or 3 days of premium plays. You know, when using reading a comment about a backup quarterback, Ravens using a backup quarterback, RG3 is not just any backup quarterback. He's had starting time. It's not like you're throwing in somebody who's never played before or started a game. And if you don't think that he sees an opportunity right now to try and show the NFL world and the other teams and the other head coaches that he can start a game and he still has it, here's his opportunity to shine. So if you don't think he's going to go out there and put his best effort forward, I think everybody will be sadly mistaken. Is he going to be successful against the Pittsburgh defense? I think he's definitely going to have a tough time, no doubt about it. Willie Snead on the COVID reserve list. Matt Sakura reserve COVID list. DeAnthony Thomas opted out of the season, so he's still on the COVID list even though he's not playing anyways. Patrick Ricard, reserve COVID. Mark Andrews, reserve COVID. Jihad Ward is on the COVID list, as well as an undisclosed injury. Terrell Bonds has a knee injury and reserve COVID. Patrick Carey, reserve COVID, as well as an undisclosed injury. Obviously, Lamar on the reserve COVID. Matt Judon, reserve COVID, and an ankle injury. Justin Matabuki, undisclosed injury, as well as reserve COVID. Geno Stone, reserve COVID. So do they have a lot? Absolutely. Am I a big fan of this game today? Not at all. Not at all. But it's going to get played. I think there's avenues to make money. You've got, the Ravens by themselves are 6-4. So to say that they're a great team to begin with, they're 6-4. They're 6-4, 4-5-1 against the spread. 5-5 to the over, going up against the only undefeated team. Going up against the only undefeated team. Give me 1 second. One quick second. Brandon Williams was listed from the COVID list, but he's out with an ankle injury, even though he's not on the COVID list. Michael Wentz is putting $100K on Pitt money line. Love to see that ticket. I wouldn't say this is a must-win game for the Steelers. Steelers will have plenty of games to be able to lock it up. But yeah, no doubt about it. And I don't want to say I'm not a fan of the word a lock, but I personally don't see how the Steelers lose the game outright. And I am popping up the lines. We'll start breaking down the game and look at the numbers. And we'll focus more on the numbers of the Steelers and what the Steelers do on offense and defense. Because, as you know, a lot of different personnel will be in there. Which means a lot of the numbers that we see and we have to base it off of will really mean nothing. Steelers are laying 5.15 on the money line. Steelers are laying 5.15 on the money line. They're only a 10-point favorite at home. So keep that in mind, guys. The bookmakers are begging you to take the Steelers. They're begging you to take the Steelers. They're playing at Heinz Field, at home, against a 6-4 Ravens team. I said it, a 6-4 Ravens team. Against a 10-0 Steelers team who keeps mopping up teams, who keeps mopping up the competition. They just beat Jacksonville 27-3. They beat Cincinnati 36-10. They struggled against Dallas, but they got the job done, beating them 24-9. They're 8-2 against the spread. Victor, I don't think anybody talked about RG3 numbers. I haven't seen any RG3 numbers. And I know I haven't even looked them up. So, your comment of stop with RG3 stats, yes, he's no scrub. He had his fair share of great in the NFL, but his last start was years ago. And he's playing with backups and no practice. Stop it. Victor, I haven't seen anybody post any stat about RG3 in either the live chat, and I know I sure as hell haven't even brought him up because I don't even have his stats on any of my computers right here or the iPad. Not me exactly. Well, even looking at the live chat, I can't see anybody talk about RG3 numbers. Other than Nathan agreed with me, says that RG3 will give his best effort. trying to show potential. Other than that, I can't see one comment. Mr. Richardson, does RG3 still have it in him? Other than that, not sure where you're getting your comment from about anybody. Not just me, but anybody. And you say, not you exactly. Well, I know it sure as hell wasn't me, because I haven't said one stat about RG3. Oh, his career numbers. Sorry, Christopher Bayer listed his 43 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. You made it sound like people just went on and on and on and on about his stats. Let me tell you. Ooh, wow. That's a tough stat to have to read. Heaven forbid. Like Focus Sports says, RG3 doesn't have numbers. I mean, heaven forbid. We went down and we said he had 9 passing yards on September the 13th. He has 1 rushing yard for the positive this year. Five rushing attempts, 2 for negative losses because they were kneel downs. He does have 1 interception. I mean, he's got a completion ratio of 100%. Just so you guys know, this year, RG3's numbers are 100%. He's thrown 2 passes. 1 was caught by his teammate. The other one was caught by the football team, the Washington football team. So he's thrown 2 passes. 1 was picked off, and 1 was caught by his team. So definitely 100% success rate. Mike, right? Yes, William, the only way to be successful betting sports is to straight bet. So when you take a look at the numbers, you could actually get the Ravens at plus 10.5, minus $1.15. Or you could take the Steelers and lay 10. Minus $1.15. Minus 515 on the money line. Over and under set at 42. You know, when you look at the numbers and you look at player personnel, you would instantly think Ravens by a mile. But when you start taking a look at the other angle, Henry says with RG3 in the game, it'll be like the Denver game last week. I don't think it'll be that bad. RG3 will get into a groove. He'll be able to complete some passes. No doubt about it. I don't think it'll be as bad. Animal, any Champions League free plays? No. Somebody on Twitter said that I should stop giving out European soccer. So I'm going to heed his advice. What stupid advice that is. And no free soccer plays for anybody because apparently I suck. So I'm going to keep those all to myself. And I'm going to bet them all to myself. But yeah, I'm going to bet some Europa League today. Or Champions League today and Europa League tomorrow. But yeah, I definitely have some. But no, sorry, can't give them out anymore because the Twitter world, one individual says that I suck. Says that I suck. When you take a look at the money aspect of this game, Williams says, Kyle, I think the Ravens will win, but I could be wrong, but it looks like a setup. 67% of the money against the spread is on the Steelers, 33% on the Ravens, 71% on the over. Danielle Costello, any basketball free plays? Maybe. But I think somebody said I suck doing that too. So apparently I've been giving out too many free plays because you have one losing day and all of a sudden I'm considered on a cold streak. So I definitely, I do remember 1-0 or 1 win and a push on Monday, 2-1 on Sunday, 2-1 on Saturday for free plays, all of that good stuff. So since one losing day is considered a cold streak, I think we just snap that and maybe have none. Definitely don't want to, get caught in a cold streak because we had one losing day or 2 losing days over the last week. That's for sure. T-step so we get punished. Hey, this is like the military. One person steps out of line and you all get punished, right? All right, so back to the Steelers and the Ravens and where the money's at. 71% on the over, just 29% rolling with the under here. When it comes to the money line, heavy on the Steelers, 91% on the Steelers money line. Rich said these guys sound like a Philly fan. They just boo everything, right? But hey, no, the guy on Twitter said that he really liked me. He said that he really liked me, but yet I suck in a nutshell. You gotta love it. Joe Free, I definitely do. So when you start diving into the numbers and you start taking a look at the Steelers numbers, because that's what we're going to hone in on. We'll take a look at the Steelers numbers and we'll take a look at the Ravens defensive numbers. Offensive numbers we'll just skip because we all know their offensive output sucks anyways. There's a reason why they're 6-4. It's because, first of all, is Lamar Jackson elite? No. We're going to get on that debate? No, but I'm just going to drop that comment. With Lamar at the helm, they're averaging 183 yards rushing, 183 yards passing a game, 6.6 yards per passing attempt. They are averaging 160 yards rushing the ball, 4.9 yards per carry. Great numbers there. 26.8 points per game is what they're averaging on offense. 12.8 yards per point. We can go over Big Ben and the Steelers' numbers. They're averaging 3.8 yards per carry, 102 yards on the ground, 246 in the air at 6.4 yards per passing attempt. But where we really need to hone in on is the defense. T-Step says, bad spot, you win and you're a hero, and you lose and it's your fault. They bet it, and you're our QB, Kyle. Well, I just want to be the backup. That way if I throw a bunch of picks, the credit doesn't, it's just, it was a given. I was the backup, right? Can I be the backup for a week? Can I take a vacation? When you look at the defensive numbers, because that's where you really got to, key in on to me. Pittsburgh giving up 4.3 yards per carry. Ravens 4.6. Numbers are very similar. Passing yardage numbers on defense very similar. Steelers holding teams to 5.9 yards, 203 passing yards a game. Ravens give up 217 and 6.1. There's no doubt about it, the Steelers' defense and their takeaways are plus 12 on the year. Plus 12 on the year. +3 for the Ravens. Duke says no opting out. Holy moly says take Baltimore plus the 10 and roll a fatty and enjoy the win. RG3 interception prop is worth a look. You know, if BetOnline had one, I'd probably take it. But they don't. So when you dive into this game, Alex Smith says, if you don't like the picks or the channel-wide watch, you must be real miserable yourself, just hating on the guy trying to do his job. Alonzo, good morning, my brother. As far as this one goes, laying the 10, I'm not completely sold. I don't know if I can lay the 10 yet. Maybe after a couple, well, I can't even say happy hour cocktails because we don't get till happy hour. Game time in 4 hours and 23 minutes. So we better finish up the show, finish up my work so I can have a couple cocktails with afternoon lunch. But as far as this one goes, laying the 10, I'm just not a fan of. Again, I'm not a fan of laying 10 on any team. I get it. RG3 is a backup. He hasn't played in years. He's thrown 2 passes this year. He's got a 100% completion ratio, 1 to his teammate, 1 to another teammate on the Washington football team. All the other players out. I still can't talk myself into laying the 10. For some strange reason. And they probably win by a country mile today. They probably blow them out and put the beat down on them. Brian says, I'd be impressed if RG3 gets a touchdown. You know, the Ravens will get a touchdown. The Ravens will score at least once, in my opinion. At least once, in my opinion. I want to go over some of these numbers. Game total, 42. First half, Steelers laying a touchdown, 6.5. Actually, 6 in the hook. First half total, 21. Jay Shep says, I'm getting... Hold on 1 second, folks. Hold on 1 second. I got to take this. It's my landscaper, and we're doing landscaping at the house. Hello. Good, how are you? Last night, but it was it was in the dark. So we're gonna go back out and take a look at them here in a little bit, and then we'll decide. Do you remember which one was the middle one? Was that the tan one or was that the light one? You had one brick, and then there was a middle one, and then there was the like the silver one all the way to the left. Okay. Yeah. Which Okay. Which of the three would you use with the color of the house? Okay. I'll let the wife know. Me too. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell her, and then we'll decide which color today. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Ben. Thanks. Bye-bye. Sorry about that. I do apologize. We're finally starting the backyard, picking out travertine pavers, and going through color options. So I've been waiting for that phone call for a couple days now. So I do apologize. So, my color coordinating. I don't as much as I want to pick the color. Me and my wife are at a crossroad when it comes to the colors. I like the silver. She likes the tan. So we're at a crossroads, but I have a feeling the wife will win. I have a feeling the wife will win. So, the baller thinks says Kyle's so polite. Over under 3 on arguments. It could have gone there yesterday. So I got home yesterday and I missed a landscaper, and he had the pavers out next to the garage to match up to the stone and on our house and all of that. And I love the silver colored travertine. And he had 3 options, and obviously there's a million more. But a long story short, I show the wife. I was expecting she really likes that one, but she doesn't like it next to the color of the house. So I'm like, great. Well, Dr. Franco says that's what I just said. She's the best. She's the boss. Don't worry. You know, she asked me my opinion on something like, hey, what do you think of? What do you think of this color here or this, that inside the house? I'm like, I think it's fucking horrible. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And then she gets all mad at me, obviously, because, she puts in the time and the effort and so much work into, designing the inside of our house and decorating it and making it amazing. And then 3 days later, I'm like eating crow, honey, I have to apologize. Thing that you did, I said I hate it. I really like it. And it's not because I'm just changing my mind to change my mind. It's because I actually really like it. But at first, I'm not very open-minded. No, hate it. And the next thing you know, you gotta eat crow. Jay Shep says you gotta use reverse psychology on her. Well, if I just say I really like this one, she'll probably just say, oh, yep, that's it. Williams is playing the clown video. Don't worry, we will. Lucky, that's 100% fact. She asked my opinion to make me feel like I have an opinion. And she's a very strong, opinionated individual, and she does an amazing job at what she does. Alex, she's mad at me for the driveway issues. Well, the landscaper did offer to replace the pavers, but the primer is slowly wearing off. But yeah, pool party, Cap Nation pool party. If you guys know the address, in the summertime, maybe you guys will get invited. Alex, not yet, but I will when we break down the game. We haven't done a pool yet, but we need to. The pool is next. But we have a fairly decent backyard, but we're doing some Tavernine, extending the patio out, some Tavernine pavers all the way around it, and then 2,400 square feet of grass, and then the pool behind it. I'm just excited about the 2,400 feet of sod for my little one. But anyways, back to this game. When you start taking a look at the numbers, like I said, first half numbers, total set at 21, Steelers laying 6.5. We'll take a look at some of the props here in a little bit. First quarter, Steelers laying 3, over and under 7.5 at plus 105. I'm going to throw a couple scenarios out at you guys. Steelers drive down, Ravens come up with a stop. Yeah, Henry, you work UPS, you can find the address, right? Well, you could just ask my parents when you deliver a package to them, since you deliver a package to my parents anyways. And my dad gets a lot of packages. Steelers drive down. Let's just say the Ravens get a stop. They kick a field goal. It's 3-0. That first drive of the Ravens, of RG3, I think can be a make it or break it for something if you're betting on the first quarter. Either they go 3 and out, they punt the ball away and give it back to Big Ben, or they turn the ball over in their own zone because RG3 has to pass the ball. And let's be honest, a turnover happening in the beginning of the game by RG3 is probably a likely scenario for the fact that everybody in the world can hate on him. A turnover in that first possession, a fumble, botched snap, an interception would be fitting. Because everybody could say, oh, RG3 sucks. If he throws a pick, they fumble the ball, whatever, some type of turnover, lead to an easy score, you'll break 7.5. Or RG3 out. Or maybe they put together a solid drive running the ball. I mean, the Steelers do give up some run yardage. Steelers do give up 4.3 yards a carry. And they put up some points on the board. As long as they don't run the time off the clock. I can see this one going over for the first quarter. I do. I'm not a fan of laying the 10. Not a fan of laying the 10. First quarter over 7.5 at plus 105. I think there's great value in it. Second quarter over 13. Third quarter over 7.5. Fourth quarter over 10.5. The game could be over by the fourth quarter and you see no points in it. I don't see this as a back and forth game. Ravens first half total points over 7.5 is minus $1.40. Or excuse me, is plus $1.40. The Steelers first half team total over 13.5. Gave that one out to you guys. First quarter. Steelers 6.5. Over and under. The Ravens over and under 0.5 point. Likelihood of a field goal at plus money, plus 110. Who's the backup? I'd have to say it would probably be Tyler Huntley. I'd have to say, Trace McSorley's on the roster, but I'd have to say Huntley would probably get the start. Although Trace McSorley can play any position. I mean, they had him in when they drafted him in the 6th round. He could play offense, defense, special teams, and quarterback. So, do I think the Steelers win every quarter? Betting on the quarters, if there was a money line for every quarter, I'd be inclined to take it. Laying 2 in the first, or laying 3 in the first quarter, 3.5 in the second quarter, 3 in the third, and 0.5 in the fourth. I'm not a fan of. There's something about this game and the points being 10 at home against a team just seems like a setup. They're begging you to take the Steelers. Am I going to take the Steelers? I don't know. Maybe in some form or fashion, but maybe in a teaser. But as of right now, laying 10, I can't do it. I think because the quarterback is out. And let's compare Lamar versus RG3 and when RG3 was in his prime. Was he that much different? In my opinion, not much different. They're both special players. They both can run the ball exceptionally well. Lamar's probably a little faster. Focus Sports says the Steelers' money line is too high. The spread is too high. If anything, it'll be on a teaser. Darren Sims says the spread was 10 when they were playing the Jets. The Steelers were a 4-point dog when they played the Ravens earlier in the season in Baltimore. It was a close game, 28-24. Just because, and Jemio, I agree with you, long time ago. Very hard to say, if you compare them from when he was in his prime and playing, starting to compare him to, Lamar. Very hard to compare numbers. Joe Chris says, don't force it if there's college basketball. Even if there wasn't college basketball, you don't have to force it. And what I'm basically trying to say is 10 to me is a lot. They're begging you to lay the number. Keep in mind, that Ravens defense is still going to be solid. Now, just because Lamar and company is out on offense doesn't mean that they're necessarily just going to blow them out like everybody's leading them to believe. For the Steelers, you've got Tuitt on the COVID list, Hawkins on the COVID list, the tackle, James Conner on the COVID list. So I don't necessarily believe this is just going to be a knockout punch by the Steelers. And I know we're spending a lot of time on this one. So one thing that I will be betting on this game, first of all, I gave out the team total in the first half in the daily free play video. If you haven't watched that one, please do watch that after this live show. And please drop a comment over there. Going to get you guys on a free play here. And remember, there's YouTube channels out there that are begging you for donations so that they can go bet the games. First of all, I don't need a fucking donation, excuse my language. I don't need, if you guys sign up for a package, great. If you don't, no big deal. I'm betting the games today. So I'm going to make money, just like I made money yesterday betting the games. I'm going to make money regardless if people sign up or they don't. But if you guys want to bet with me, fantastic. Go pick out a package and get on board. One thing that we don't need is donations. A lot of people have asked us, hey, how can I donate? Don't donate. All right? Just do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Almost, over 250 people here, only 93 thumbs up. Get with the program. Hit the thumbs up button. Share the video on your social media. Drop a comment. It's like our daily free play video. Just go over there and drop a comment. Give a thumbs up. That helps us a hell of a lot more. That helps us a hell of a lot more than anything else that you guys can do. I actually love it when I log on and I see there's 1,200 views so far, 120 thumbs ups. I like that. 10% of the views went to thumbs up, but then there's 14 thumbs downs. Okay, 14 people didn't like the video. No problem. No problem. But yet, they still come for the free plays. Henry, I don't necessarily think that the Ravens are just going to go 3 and out an extreme amount of time. I think they'll be able to extend drives with RG3 on the ground. Jeff S. says, thumbs down for a free play. We don't deserve a vaccine. Right? Exactly. So I am going to put it up on the board. Because the board is blank. Ravens, Steelers. I think there's just too many options for it to go over in the first quarter. And the fact that it's plus money, I like a lot. Plus 105, I like that. Now, diving into some of the other props that are available on this game, let's go straight to passing touchdowns. You already know Big Ben's probably going to be at 3. Actually, they have him at 1.5, minus 213. They're trying to juice it. RG3 over 1 is plus 127, but it's over 1, so you need to hit 2. I don't have much faith in that. I'm going to pull up the build-a-prop to see what Big Ben at 3 touchdowns is, because we all know Big Ben is definitely along the lines of a greedy QB. He's had 9 touchdowns in his last 3 games, although his last game against Jacksonville, he did throw an interception, first one since he threw 3 against the Titans. Hit 267 passing yards, just 2 passing touchdowns last week. All right, so taking a look at the build-a-player prop, which may or may not. There we go. For Big Ben, passing touchdowns, having at least 3, is plus 127. Now, keep in mind, just jumping onto that, the Steelers' defense is still quality, quality, quality. Sean, what do I think you'll get notified for what? Free plays? You want free plays, they're in the videos every day. Justice. As far as Big Ben having at least 3 touchdowns, he's only done it in 4 games this year. Granted, 2 of the last 3, which were against Dallas, Cincinnati, and Jacksonville. The 2 that had happened were against Dallas and Cincinnati. So as far as that prop goes, I'm going to steer clear of that. Now, laying the juice on 2 touchdown passes minus 213, I cannot lie. I like that one, but you'd have to lay some big juice on it. You'd have to lay some big juice on it, which I'm definitely not the biggest of fan when it comes to that. Now, taking a look at some other build-a-player props, Juju Smith-Schuster. You can get his receptions at 5, and it's minus 200. 6, and it's plus 127. Now, keep in mind, he did have 7 receptions against the Ravens last time. 67 yards for 7 catches with a long of 24. He was held out, out of the end zone. He's definitely a prime target candidate for Big Ben. Sean, yeah, occasionally they'll email out, but that's not an everyday thing. Not an everyday thing. Hey, Justice, he's 1 of 64 in the league. 1 of 32 that's starting, right? So you got to give some credit no matter how shitty he is. So as far as this one goes, a lot of the props today, I'm not a fan of. A lot of the props today, I'm not a major fan of. I'm just not. There's games where I'll take props, and keep in mind, the way I look at props are like slot machines. They're everywhere for a reason. All right? They're everywhere for a reason. Now, the Claypool, we can take a look at, Claypool's props here in a second. They actually have RG3's passing completions at 16. No, I wouldn't take 9 in the first quarter. As far as Chase Claypool goes, he's had 4 more receptions in 4 straight games. 6 out of his last 7 as well. His reception prop is set at 5. It's 5 for a reason, because he usually gets to about 4. As far as his touchdown, him to have 1 touchdown is plus 120. Plus 600 to have 2 again. He did have 2 against Cincinnati. His last game against Baltimore, he did have 1. He had 5 receptions for 42 yards. I know you're still on the free play board. It's because I was picking my nose. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I didn't know. But thank you for letting me know. Appreciate that. Now his receiving yardage is set at 52 minus $1.14. He's broken 52 for 3 straight games. Against the Ravens, he only had 42. Joe Chris says, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. So as far as, I'm not opposed to the Claypool touchdown prop plus 120. I'll probably put something small on it. Again, remember, I bet small on all the props. I bet small on all the props. I'm not going to put them up on the board. Aaron, I do like Big Ben over 1.5. I do. I'm not going to advise people to bet it, but if they want to, I do like it. I'll probably have something on it. He did have 2 touchdowns against the Ravens last time. He did have 2 passing touchdowns in his last game against the Ravens. I do like it today. Aaron, it's probably a safer prop to bet. Nathan says I'm rolling my wins into that interactive board today. You have first quarter at 9. Is that a reach on your book? It better be plus a lot of fucking money, excuse my language, because it's definitely not a good bet. I would definitely look at a new book, that's for sure. Because I got plus 105. You should be plus 160 at that point. And even then. But keep in mind, generally speaking, I'm going to give you some real rationale. I need 8 to win. You're going to need 10 to win. If I hit 8, chances are you hit 10. So while it's a good bet, your line is just off, and whoever you're betting with better be giving you some really big plus money. Mike, I don't remember the last time they played on a Wednesday, but hey, I cannot lie. I like it. I like it. So there's my theory on this game. We're going to move into some college basketball. Tomorrow we get college football. Games dropping like flies lately. 2 of the Friday games have been canceled. Cincinnati and Tulsa, Southern Miss and UTEP. Tomorrow we get Louisiana Tech and North Texas, Air Force and Utah State. So, Aaron says, day drinking with this game so early, right? Henry, am I going to have a game of the week? As long as it doesn't get canceled, I will. Mike Brown, what's the difference between a 7.5 and a 9.5 first quarter? Well, ask the Eagles in 2-point conversions, right? What's the difference between 7.5 and 9.5? A missed extra point, which happens all the time. Get a touchdown and a missed extra point, you got 6. Get the field goal, +3, you're at 9. I'm winning, you're losing. There is no NFL tomorrow. Generally speaking, though, if you have 8 or 9, you're going to need 10 to hit. But keep in mind, miss extra points. They happen way too frequently on a game that's projected to have a lot of missed opportunities up. Dr. Franklin says it'll probably fall on 9. Probably will. Probably will. That's for sure. Now, I was trying to see something here. I didn't have it readily available. Yeah, no NFL tomorrow. No NFL tomorrow. But next week, no Thursday NFL either. But we get 2 Monday games and a Tuesday game. Monday, we'll have 2 Monday night football. Monday afternoon football for us West Coasters. The football team and the Steelers next Monday. Bills and the 49ers, and then the Cowboys and the Ravens. So, it'll be fun. It'll definitely be fun nonetheless. And it'll be a good game, a good week. College football, Friday, like I said, 2 of Friday's games dropped off already. Toby says, Tomlin in this situation with their backup QB, I could see them going for 2. He likes to put pressure on. Absolutely. Definitely better Jalen than a canceled season, no doubt about it. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to move to college hoops. We're going to move to college hoops. Take a look at some college hoops games. Mike Brown says under. Hey, if you guys think the Steelers are going to blow them out, well, I don't know how it's going to go under then. Let's just say RG3 and company put up 2 touchdowns. Casey Davis says, don't sleep on Alex Smith. I'll be honest, Alex Smith is a game changer for Washington. He's a better quarterback than anybody else on their roster. Just so happens the injury, and they just didn't hand over the reins to him. He's always been underappreciated. No matter what team he's been with, he's gotten a raw deal. And do I think Des Bryant plays today? I would imagine so. I know he was signed to the 53-man roster, so I would expect him to. Toby says, I like the under unless Ben goes nuts. Hard to tell what's going to happen on a regular game. You guys have to keep in mind. it's still the Ravens defense. It's still the Ravens defense that we're talking about. And they've kept a lot of teams in check. Give me 1 second, folks. All right, so jumping into college basketball and what we plan to do there. We're going to start our 5-minute breakdowns. We're going to have some fun. All right. Hopefully we find some great avenues to bet and things to put you guys on. As always, remember, full disclaimer, a lean is a lean. Not necessarily means I'm betting it, but it's something that I like. I know a lot of people asking about the Indiana game. Obviously, because you guys want to bet something at 1:30 in the afternoon on the East Coast. Tyler, I agree with you. Big Ben and company will get their numbers. Big Ben and company will get their numbers. It's going to be what the Ravens are capable or not capable of doing, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's going to be based on whatever it is the Ravens are capable of doing or not doing on offense. All right, so popping up my information, logging into everything here. So that way we can have some fun. Alrighty, so got to get the live odds up and running as well. Well, back up and running because they already were, but all right. Got that window open. Close this window here. And we're going to bounce around, no particular order on the games. Remember, my plays have not gone out yet. We will take a look at your Indiana and Stanford game because everybody and their mother has asked about that one. How do I think that so many lines missed by 0.5 point? It's because the bookmakers are good. You have to remember their goal is to get 50-50 action. I know a lot of you guys think that the bookmakers are there to get it all lopsided. The bookmakers don't want the liability. They do everything in their power to make sure that there's minimal liability at risk. The book just wants you to go 50-50, 50% on one side, 50% on the other side. They make the VIG. They make that 10%. Some books are charging 12, 15, 17. Sometimes you'll find 20% on a number that's not in your favor. And no matter what happens, the outcome of the game, they make their money. They make their scratch no matter what. So the books are generally extremely close on the numbers. So, for instance, I can tell you in our system, without even looking at what the numbers are, in our system for the Indiana and Stanford game, we have it at a total of 136 points. We have it at a total of 136. And I'm going to go pull up the number. And again, I'm not playing this game. I haven't spent too much time looking at it. It'll be more of a breakdown with you guys than I did for myself on this game because, again, I already decided I wasn't playing on this one. The total is set at 133. Our system shows 136. It's actually 132 and a half at minus 105. You could actually get 132 at minus 115. So there's definitely avenues to be had in this game just from the get-go. So our system is generally pretty accurate based on the model that we have as far as compiling all the stats available from Stats LLC for the things that we track. But we track a lot more than most. We track the two-foul participation protocol, which is, an absolute huge stat and a huge number that you have to factor into your equation. If not, you're just not, which I don't know too many people that actually list that for the public to see. But we are going to start breaking these down and have some fun. So bear with me here while we get everything up and running. And hopefully pick the right one. All right, so 5 minutes on the clock, 5 minutes, no more. Well, we definitely go less if we need to. So without further ado, we might as well get this party started. All right, might as well get this party started. Boy, that's a slow-moving clock. There we go. Finally got it rolling. Obviously, Indiana getting their butts kicked by Texas yesterday after slaughtering Tennessee Tech. Providence who? Exactly. After slaughtering both of those teams, a lot of people came out with high hopes for Indiana yesterday. I was one of them. I did not put $1 on that game. Again, I did not have $1 on the Indiana-Texas game yesterday, but Indiana got their butt spanked. All right, Archie Miller and company got their butt spanked 66-44 yesterday. And then there's Stanford. Stanford played a very tough game against North Carolina. They have never beaten them. I believe 13 straight losses to North Carolina after smashing Alabama in their season opener by 18 points. They played a very tough game against North Carolina, and they nearly got the job done. They lost by 4 points, 67-63. They had a chance at the very end of that game to not cover the spread. Ended up being a push. That one was laying 4 or +4 for Stanford. North Carolina missing that late free throw caused a premium play to go from a win to a push. So as far as this one goes, when you start diving into the numbers and you start comparing, Indiana, Stanford side by side, first of all, you got to take a look at the numbers that we got to lay today. Total at 132 minus $1.15. Stanford laying 2 points, the favorite against Indiana, who's catching 2. J-Rock says, how can you bet against a team with a tree on its logo playing basketball? As far as the numbers of Stanford laying the 2 points, Indiana catching 2, when you start comparing them side by side and you start looking at the numbers, first of all, we have Indiana's offense ranked considerably higher than Stanford. We have Indiana ranked 44th as far as adjusted efficiency goes when it comes to offense compared to Stanford at the 73 mark. When it comes to defenses so far based on adjusted efficiencies, that takes into consideration strength of opponents, their schedule, as well as, how the other teams that they've already beat or lost to are continuously doing throughout the season to get our rankings, which is a model that we've developed internally. We have Indiana as the 5th best defense as of right now based on adjusted efficiencies. Stanford. Indiana comes in no slouch either at 13th. So they're definitely up there. They're definitely very comparable numbers when it comes to defense. For instance, Stanford hitting 51.8% from the field. Indiana's holding teams to 43.3%. Very similar numbers when you flip the script. Indiana hitting a little bit less from the field, 47.6. However, Stanford holding teams to 45% shooting. So very, very, very similar defensive numbers. Both teams are excellent at defending the three. Stanford holding teams to 26.8% shooting from out deep. Indiana, on the other hand, holding teams to 22.4% shooting from out deep, whereas Stanford has just been knocking down threes. They're averaging 37.1% from out deep, and they actually rely on the three ball for quite a bit, almost 27% of their total points for each game. Stanford has been knocking down from out deep, whereas Indiana, they haven't, they're not relying on the three ball as much. Just 17% of their total points come from out deep. They're hitting just 27.9% of them. If this gets into a three-point competition, Stanford can walk away with it. However, if the Indiana defense can step up, defend the three, as well as stay out of foul trouble, in my opinion, they should have opportunities to keep this one close as a 2-point dog. They are converting just 64% of their free throws, whereas Stanford is just a tad bit under 70%. 69.8% of their free throw attempts are going in the hoop. When it comes to other aspects of the game, 2-foul participation, which is a big factor. Then again, with just a couple games under their belt, it's not really a big telltale sign of anything. But a lot of people that have followed us or my breakdowns for a while know that when we have 2-foul participation, it's a major thing. And what that is, I'll go more in depth into that in a little bit. And how that can benefit a total from going over or under. But as far as this one goes, I lean towards the over 132 minus $1.15. And if I had to take anybody here, I'd have to take Indiana. I think they're the tougher team, although Stanford has definitely shown it. So time on the clock is up. But I do lean towards Indiana as the dog here, +2, as well as the over 132. We have the total score coming in at 136. So 4-point differential between what the books have and what we have. So again, no official play on it, but I do lean towards both the dog and the over here. So, and again, leans, for everybody that doesn't know, for the 280-something people that are tuning in, a lean is that. It's exactly a lean. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily betting on it. If I'm going to be betting on a lean, I will definitely let you know that I am. I like the over 132 a tad bit more than I do the lean on Indiana. If I was going to bet one, I'd be more inclined to bet the over than I would the actual side of the game. So there's that one. And we will move right along, right into another one. See how many of these we can get done. I can't be live for too long today, but we spent a lot on a very wild and wacky Wednesday NFL game. All right, a definite wild and wacky NFL Wednesday. Next one, we'll take a look. We'll take a look at the Texas-North Carolina game for you guys at 4 p.m. Eastern time. This is definitely a good game to take a look at, in my opinion. First of all, it's a pick'em right now. North Carolina pick'em, Texas a pick'em, total over and under 137. I can tell you that our system has a final score of 139. Again, 2-point difference between the two. Let's take a look at both teams, and let's get that clock back up and started. All right, let's get that clock back up and started. And ready, set, go on the clock. Texas, 3-0. The Longhorns, 3-0. Nathan says, I need to stop sleeping on the Texans. I liked him against Davidson. Did they cover? No. But then again, I didn't take them. I haven't bet on them once, nor have I bet against them. 17th ranked Longhorns, 3-0. Get rid of UT, Rio Grande. Got rid of Davidson, struggled. And then had a nice big monster showing against Indiana yesterday. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. On the other hand, you've got North Carolina. Roy Williams and the Tar Heels guys. First of all, Roy Williams Shaka Smart coaching matchup. Sorry, Nathan, but I definitely have to favor Roy Williams as far as a coaching matchup between the two. North Carolina is always going to have the growing pains. They're always going to have the growing pains along the likes of Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, because they're going to get the one and dones. They're going to get the one and dones. You know, their projected lineup is featuring 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a junior. A junior in Leaky Black. Caleb Love, Dayron Sharp, RJ Davis. These freshmen will definitely go a long way and be some great players. But they're freshmen. They're new. There's always that growing pains in the beginning of the season with a freshman squad. Okay? When you take a look at the Longhorns, this is a veteran squad. Greg Brown will be one of the only starting 5 that's a freshman. When you start comparing the numbers side by side, offense to defense, offensive-wise, I give an edge to Texas. We rank their offense higher. When it comes to defense, I'm going to be honest, based on adjusted efficiencies, Texas has a stellar defense. We have them as the number 2 defense in all of college hoops. North Carolina coming in at number 8, so not far off. Texas hitting 54.5% from the field. North Carolina struggling, 46.2%. But again, those shooting pains and those growing pains come from being freshmen, come from being a very underclassman class, basically. You've got North Carolina hitting 30%, from out deep. 31.4% for Texas, no advantage there. Where Texas definitely has that advantage is all their 2-point plays. Every jump shot, layup, and dunk, they're knocking down nearly 60%. They're hitting nearly 6 out of 10 converting 6 out of 10 of their 2-point plays, hitting 59.8%. Just 46.6% for North Carolina. Still, again, struggling. Free throw numbers, very similar. Matter of fact, they're identical, both hitting 68.8%. From the free throw line, from that charity stripe. Now, point distribution. Texas definitely relies on that 3-ball more, to the tune of 28.1% of their total points come from out deep, just 20.1% for North Carolina. When you take a look at the defense, Texas defense is holding teams to 22% even shooting from out deep, 37.6% from the field. Now, North Carolina's defense holding teams to 26.2% from out deep, 41.9% overall from the field. As far as the defense goes, there should be a quality defense between both teams. Now, 2-foul participation protocol, for everybody that doesn't know, in college basketball, generally speaking, when a player picks up a second foul early in the first half, they ride the bench until the second half, sometimes to that 5-minute mark in the second half. Both teams participate so far, 3 games into the 2-foul participation, 23.5% of the time. For Texas, 21.8. What that means is if a player's out there with 2 fouls, he's less likely to commit another foul because he doesn't want to pick up that third one because he'll be sitting for quite a bit into the second half. So that will help a total go over. Sloppier defense, less defense will definitely push a total over, knowing that both will allow the pace of play to be pushed with 2 fouls in it. As far as this one goes, and as far as the total goes, I can see the total going over in this game, although we've got 2 great offenses and a freshman team in North Carolina that is definitely struggling. So I do lean towards the over 137, but not by much, not enough to make me want to actually put $1 on it. As far as the side of the game goes, with the clock being expired at the perfect time, I'd like to say Texas to get the job done. I just don't know if Shaka Smart can coach his way into it. As far as being the veteran squad, Texas being the reason they are the veteran squad, coming in with just, 1 freshman coming in out of their starting 5, Greg Brown, going up against the 3 freshmen of Roy Williams' team. I think every game that North Carolina plays from here on out, they're going to improve. I just don't know if they're there yet. They probably get the win here, but I think the smart money should probably be Texas. They're the better shooting team. They have the better, rock solid defense. As far as, free throw shooting, identical. So if North Carolina and their freshmen can't knock down any buckets, or they go down big early, I think it'll be Texas's game. So I do lean towards Texas and the over. But again, as far as betting it, I'm not betting on Texas, guys. This might be a great game to watch. I think it could be a back and forth game, but I do lean towards the over more than I do the actual side on Texas. If you're looking for my personal plays, they're not out yet. Obviously, I'm live. They'll be out after the live show. So I do lean towards Texas as a pick. There you go, Nathan. But again, won't have $1 on it. And again, oh, definitely. Both teams will be amped. No doubt about it. To say otherwise would be a big mistake. So I do lean towards the over 137. But again, both of those games are ones that I probably, to be honest, will not have $1 on. I probably will not have $1 on. North Carolina is going to have, growing pains, learning curves. And we've seen it in their games so far. We've seen it in the games that they've played so far, the 3 games that they played. Charleston, they should have beat by 30 if they were running at full steam. UNLV, they came back and they smashed against a very weak running Rebels team. Randy C., what's going on? And against Stanford, they struggled. They struggled shooting. Free throws were, not the best either. Free throws were not the best either coming, in that game. You take a look at what North Carolina did. They went 15 of 24, shot 62.5%. Nathan, you already have my winning picks. You already have my winning plays. You're on my personal plays, brother. You already got them. You'll have them later. So, North Carolina, they got to knock down free throws today if they want to have a chance. All right, so next one that we're going to do. And again, keep in mind, just bouncing around. I'm going to do a couple more for you guys. And I'm not going to be able to fit in all of them. I'm going to do a couple of the marquee matchups for you guys. Ryan McGee says these breakdowns are on point. I actually love breaking down college hoops. I actually love breaking down college hoops. It's fun to do the 5-minute breakdowns because, for instance, you take the hour and a half we talked about the Steelers out of the equation. We could literally get through 10, 15 of these in an hour and go straight down the board. Crack, if you want to know about Pittsburgh and the Ravens, hit the rewind button. We talked about that game for about an hour and a half. So, games that I am going to pick for us to break down. We're going to break down the Fighting Illini and Baylor. We're going to break down the Gonzaga game. Put you guys on a free play. We're going to have some fun. All right, we're going to have some fun. We're going to make some money today. Give me one quick second. Henry says, I don't think they should rate teams until January. It would definitely be a fair assumption. But what hype would you have if you just said it, if it was, remember, a lot of it's hype. A lot of it's hype. If we were to say, oh, by the way, West Virginia and Gonzaga on ESPN tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time, it would be like all right? Or if they said Illinois and Baylor, 10 p.m. Eastern time, ESPN tonight, most people would be like, But if they say number 5, the Fighting Illini, against the number 2, Baylor University college hoops, it's hype. hype. So having a ranking this early, let's be honest. Do they know how good the freshmen from North Carolina are going to be? To say that they should be the 14th ranked team in the country? No. We saw it last year. How good was North Carolina last year? We see teams struggle. It's all having a number attached to your name in the first week of college basketball is hype. Oh my Lord, number one went down. Number one went down. Oh my God. It gives somebody, the people that are doing the rankings, it gives them something to talk about. Oh my God, upset in, week number one. Oh my Lord. Whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. Gonzaga has a pick'em. Steelers pick'em. Michigan laying 7.5, minus 130, 10-point parlay. Looks good. Nathan, do I like Iowa over Western Illinois? I'd have to, side with Jeff. Jeff's going to say Iowa, so yeah, definitely say Iowa. Joe Chris, officiating is off in all the sports when they have a big layoff. Keep in mind, these guys haven't played basketball or refereed basketball since February. There was no tournament. So it's been an even longer layoff for the referees too. Just as much as the players from a game time. So we're going to jump in. We're going to do that big number 5 and number 2 matchup. Between the Fighting Illini and the Baylor Bears. Then we'll do the Gonzaga game. All right, we'll do the Gonzaga game after that. So everybody skip towards the end of the evening. Late at night tonight on ESPN, you're going to find the Fighting Illini and the Baylor Bears. Baylor laying 4.5. Minus $1.15. Illinois catching the 4.5, minus 105. You can get it at 5 plus 105. And the total set over and under 143. We get a high total in this game. Again, if you're on my personal plays, they're not out yet. They'll be out in a little bit. If you're on premium plays, they'll be out in a little bit as well. Now this one, again, is going to be another quality game. Fighting Illini, 3-0. They beat North Carolina A&T 122-60. They beat Chicago State 97-38. Then they played a real team in Ohio. In Ohio. Not the Ohio State University. Not the Buckeyes. Ohio. And they struggled. They beat them at home 77-75. Oh, we got to get that clock started. Only fair. Got to get that clock started. Got to get that clock started. Ready, set, go. Try that again. Ready, set, go. All right. Baylor, 2-0 on the year. They beat Louisiana 112-82. The fact that they gave up 82 to them says a lot about their defense. Then they played the Washington Huskies. They beat them 86-52. Beat them by 34 points. Here they are, the Bears from Waco, Texas. Scott Drew and his program get the Fighting Illini on a neutral site game again. The 2-0 on the year. This is definitely, in my opinion, going to be a great game. Taking a look at both teams side by side. First of all, already went over the numbers. Baylor laying 4.5 minus $1.15. You can get the Fighting Illini at plus 4.5 minus 105, or buy it up a half a point to the same number that Baylor's at minus 115, and you can get them at 5. Total set over and under 143 in this matchup. When you start comparing them side by side, first of all, the Fighting Illini's offense, based on adjusted efficiencies, we have coming in at 17th, compared to the third-ranked Baylor Bears in our system. Now, as far as the defense go, I give the edge to the Bears coming in with the sixth best defense, as well as the Fighting Illini coming in 32nd, so not much of a difference there. When it comes to shooting, both of these teams lights out. But then again, the quality of competition has just not been there. Not one team, not the Baylor Bears, nor the Fighting Illini have played a quality of opponent. Here they are. You're going to get total offense. You've got the Fighting Illini hitting 63.7% from the field. Yes, I said 63%. All right, Baylor hitting 63% from the field. All right, turnovers have been limited for Baylor at 17.5%, 21.5% for the Fighting Illini, which is definitely on the higher side. Offensive rebounding. Both of these teams in 3 games and 2 games for the Baylor Bears have been dominating on the offensive glass. Baylor offensive rebounds, 49.3% of all their rebounds are offensive rebounds. That number even higher for the Fighting Illini, 52.1%. Number 1 in college basketball as far as offensive rebounds go. Number 2, Baylor. All right. However, they've played combined Washington, Louisiana, Ohio, and not the Ohio State University kind of Ohio, Chicago State, North Carolina, A&T. So both of these teams should definitely have those type of numbers against that quality of an opponent. So far, the Fighting Illini hitting 46.9% from out deep. 60.5% of all their 2-point plays. They're converting just 69.4% from the free throw line, which shows you a lot. Against a quality, shitty team, they're going to knock down their buckets. But when you put them on the foul line, they're only hitting 69.4%. Even worse for Baylor. All right, even worse for Baylor. Baylor hitting, as far as three-point shooting, phenomenal. Number 3 in college basketball, 50%. 56% shooting and conversion of all their 2-point plays. A very pathetic 50% from the free throw line. Their game against Washington. Granted, they were only on the free throw line for 11 shots. They went 5 of 11. Their game against Louisiana where they put up 112 points. They were only on the free throw line for 13 attempts. They went 7 of 13. So not a big number to really be able to gauge. However, after 2 games, it's a pathetic number. Now, if that was the same, and I'm not going to play too much into that, not now. But if this was 8, 9, 10 games in and they were hitting 50%, I don't think I could put $1 on Baylor at any time. 2 foul participation protocol through 2 games. Baylor has participated at 30.8%. So what that means is, let's just say for Baylor, their big man, Kofi Cockburn, the 7-foot sophomore, if he picks up 2 fouls, and he gets 55% of the playing time at the center position, if he picks up 2 fouls at the 10-minute mark in the first half, generally speaking, most teams he'd ride the bench for the rest, the remaining of the first half, which would be 10 minutes. However, the way that it's coached for Baylor, all right, and this is a total coaching style, and this is all reliant on the coach. Brad Underwood will allow his players, as of right now, early through 2 games, to play 30.8% of the time with 2 fouls. So what that means is he'll get an extra 3 minutes in the first half if he was to have 2 fouls. That's definitely big for the total. That's definitely big for how a team will not play defense. As far as this game goes, it's a hard pass on every direction. This is the first time these 2 teams will actually have solid competition. Total set at 143. I can see it being lights out. I can see this being a lights out game. Both defenses, they've got quality defense defending the 3. Both teams not hitting the best from the free throw line. As far as the line goes, point distribution, they all rely on that 3 ball quite a bit. 30% for both teams. Mike says, where does Kyle find these angles? It's what we do. Joe Chris, not Google. J-Rock, I get them from SBR. Nope. No, we pay the big bucks to Stats LLC, and we have a system that compiles them together for us, and they're updated after every game. They take the numbers from Stats LLC, compiles them in to almost like a spreadsheet, but it's an automatic updated thing based on what Stats LLC updates on a nightly basis. So our system and ranking is automatic. Everything updates on a daily basis. But again, anybody can go hire Stats LLC and then create your own system to input the numbers. But it's going to cost you over 6 figures a year to have access to it. But again, remember, we actually bet, so it's actually worth it for us to have it. And that way I could relay it to you guys. As far as this one goes, I think the number is extremely high. I think the number on the total is extremely high for the fact that they've both played shitty competition. The over is at 143. They're lights out shooting from out deep. I don't think that's going to be the case today. I think defense steps up between these two teams. Now, these two teams did play each other, but it was umpteen years ago, 6 years ago, in a very low-scoring game. But again, that doesn't really matter. So as far as this one goes, I lean towards the under. 143. As far as the side goes, I go back and forth on the side. I think I'd really, in a nutshell, like to be able to take Baylor and think Baylor is the better team. But I can't trust their free throw shooting. I can't trust their free throw shooting. Granted, they have only been on the line, I think, 24 times so far this season, and they're shooting under 50%. Whereas the Fighting Illini, their game against Ohio, they went 15 of 24 for 62.5%. It's still a very pathetic number. Against Chicago State, they converted. They went 18 of 24. I take a lot of unders in college hoops. The only thing that would scare me as far as, the under is overtime. It's the only thing that would scare me. The game against North Carolina A&T for the Fighting Illini, they went 17 of 24 from the free throw line. They've shown through 3 games they're the better quality free throw shooting team. So if I had to lean on anything, I would take, and actually, believe it or not, Joe Free, you can get, and right now Baylor's minus 4.5, minus $1.15. You can lay the same $1.15 juice and get the Fighting Illini at plus 5.5 right now. So I do lean towards the Fighting Illini plus the 5.5 at minus $1.15 at BetOnline. For the fact I'm going to lean on free throw shooting, as far as experience level goes, you've got the Fighting Illini. Granted, they do have 2 freshmen starting, Jacob Grandison and Andre. Even with the fact, starting the 2 freshmen, I think the Fighting Illini have shown through early, even though Baylor's the more senior team, starting a sophomore, a couple juniors, and a couple seniors. I think the Fighting Illini will be able to get the job done and keep it close. So I think they keep it close. The only thing that could screw up the total, in my personal opinion, would be a very close game that goes to overtime. Dr. Franco says, and in basketball, free throws win games. That's what would lean me. If the free throws were even, I'd take the more senior team and take Baylor. But, maybe in 2 or 3 or 4 more games, Baylor gets those numbers up. But in the first game, they sucked from the free throw line. In the second game, they sucked in the free throw line as well. Nathan, you're going to get what I give you as far as my personal plays go. You're going to get what I give you. So, and I can tell you in our system, they actually have the final score closer than the 5.5. So we actually have the final score 73-71 for Baylor winning by 2. Hopefully it's not that close, and hopefully it's way under that one. But again, I don't have $1 on it, but that's what I lean towards. And yeah, Nathan, you're going to get what I give you as far as my personal plays go. I might give you all soccer today. Boy, Nathan would be mad at that one, huh? Boy, Nathan would be mad at that one. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to break down another one. We're going to break down that good West Virginia Gonzaga game, number 11 and number 1. But first, this was highly asked for, so I'm going to share it with everybody. Cade Self says, I love the soccer plays. Well, somebody on Twitter said that I shouldn't give out any soccer anymore because apparently I suck, but yet my bankroll, my bank account, and my pocket say well otherwise. So no soccer for anybody today from me. Maybe my personal play clients, because apparently I suck so bad betting soccer, and I have no clue what I'm talking about according to Twitter, one individual on Twitter. But nonetheless, we've made a shit pile of money betting soccer. But anyways, we'll be right back. 16 seconds. Don't go anywhere. We are back, Cappers Nation Live, ready to rock and ready to roll with everybody and ready to have a good old time. Ready to have a good old time. Ready to have some fun. We're going to be breaking down West Virginia, Gonzaga, the marquee matchup of the night. Marion Wynn, if you want NFL, hit the rewind button. Alrighty, so gonna get the clock started. Ricky Lee says soccer, love, love, love. Rookie MVP, what's going on? Jeff D, I'm at work listening. Kyle, until the clown song came on, I had to see it. Alrighty, this one may run over 5-minute breakdown. Cannot guarantee you that it won't. But if it does, too flippin' bad on that one. Moving to the Gonzaga game, getting all that information up, then we'll start the clock. Ready to rock, ready to roll. I may or may not have a strong opinion on this one. I honestly think this is going to be a great game. Great game for one, not for all. Gonzaga Number 1 early in the season. Nathan, 5 minutes not enough time for me. Nope. But it keeps me going. It's like the presidential debate. You can't shut me up. All right. Ready to rock. Ready to roll. Let's go. Gonzaga. Number 1 laying 8.5 against number 11 West Virginia. Catching 8.5. Minus 105. You could actually buy that one up as Gonzaga is laying $1.15. You could actually buy that one up to lay the $1.15, and you could be catching 9. Total on this one, over and under 155.5 points. Holy smokes. The clock hasn't started. There it goes. We've got a high total on this one. Another high total on this one, 155 points. Can anybody stop the Zags? Can anybody stop the Zags? They put up 90 against Auburn in a game where we saw 157 points scored. They beat Gonzaga by 23 points. They beat Kansas by 12. I almost said by 10, but by 12. They put up 102 points on Kansas. Beat them 102-90. All right, they beat them 102-90. They put up 102 points against Kansas. And then you've got West Virginia. Oh, West Virginia, the Mountaineers. Bob Huggins and program, 3-0 on the year. They beat Western Kentucky 70-64. Barely squeaked by them. They beat VCU by 12, 78-66. They beat South Dakota State 79-71. They let South Dakota State put up 71 on them. VCU put up 66. Western Kentucky 64. You see the downward trend. Their defense started here and they started locking down, allowing less points as their 3 games went on. Neutral site game. Here they are getting the Zags. When you start comparing numbers, first of all, West Virginia's offense, based on adjusted efficiencies, are not bad. We have them 14th. Gonzaga, number 1. Effective from the field. Gonzaga coming in, very effective from the field. Hitting 63.1% from the field, 45.9% for Virginia. When it comes to offensive rebounds, West Virginia knocking it down. Coming up with them, 43% of the rebounds are offensive rebounds. Just 31.1% for Gonzaga. However, they knocked down their buckets, that's for sure. Gonzaga hitting 30.8% from out deep, 31.7% for West Virginia. Very similar numbers in this. However, it's where the defense lies defending the 3. West Virginia has had more success defending the 3. They're holding teams at 24.6% shooting from out deep, but remember, that's against VCU, South Dakota State, and Western Kentucky. All right? Whereas the numbers for Gonzaga is allowing teams to shoot 35.8% from out deep. They really haven't had to press much defense because they've been just flat out winning. However, that's against quality opponents like Auburn and Kansas. Much different than what West Virginia has faced. West Virginia hasn't faced a team even on the level of Auburn, which got the beat down by Gonzaga. All those 2-point plays, West Virginia hitting 45.3%. Gonzaga 70.3%. Free throw shooting, both are in the low to mid 70s, 74.2% for West Virginia, 75.7% for Gonzaga through 2 games. 2-foul participation, West Virginia will participate 17.6% of the time. Once it gets above 20%, that's where I start to see a factor. 2-foul for Gonzaga, next to none, 8.1%. Height advantage, nearly a 3-inch height advantage on average. A 1-inch height advantage on average per player for Gonzaga. They're definitely the taller team. As far as experience goes, I'm sorry, but the experience at Gonzaga, as far as what we're going to see throughout the year, starting 1 freshman and Jalen Suggs, is second to none. As far as the rest of the game goes, point distribution, Gonzaga not relying on that 3-pointer for very much. Most of their points are going to come from down low, all those 2-point plays. Gonzaga hitting 70.3% of all their jump shots, layups, and dunks compared to the 45.3%. The better team, they face better competition. My personal opinion, coaching-wise, Mark Few against Bob Huggins in West Virginia. West Virginia may be 3-0. They have a quality team. I think they'll make a nice run this year in their conference. Led by senior, Taz Sherman. But I think they're in way over their head in this game. And maybe I'm reading this one completely wrong. But I give a major advantage to Gonzaga. Like, too major. As far as this one goes, Gonzaga lay the points. Free play today. Gonzaga laying 8.5. As far as the total goes, it probably goes over, but I'm not going to touch it. As far as this one goes, Gonzaga on the board. Somewhere on the board. There you go, on the board. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, so if you sign up with our plays on Monday, for my personal plays on Monday, you made money. And on Tuesday, we made money on my personal plays. Hold on 1 second. If you don't follow instructions and you lose, that's your fault. If you follow instructions and you lose, then it's my fault. I'm not going to name the person because they're in the live chat, but you want to text me saying, I paid for the information. I thought you were good. That's why I paid for tips. Let's go over what I gave out on Monday because I know you're in the live chat. Because I just seen you post. On Monday, I gave you Georgia State money line. We lost. I gave you SMU laying 20.5. Was a blowout winner. I also gave you Seattle laying 6. And I said to take it at 6 for a very specific reason. That was a push. I also gave out a teaser on the Seahawks +1 and North Carolina laying 6.5. Now, we didn't make a lot of money on Monday, but we fucking made money. Block Kid, our picks tracked publicly? Yeah, they're in every video. No, I would never name names. But then yesterday, so we made a little bit of money on Monday. I would never publicly dog a customer, a paying customer, no way. But this happens far too often. If you didn't take Seattle at 6, that's your own fault. That's your own fault. J-Rock, it's not you. If you didn't take Seattle at 6 because you didn't want to spend an extra 10 cents juice, I'm sorry. That's your fault, not mine. The information is only good if you use it. Not if you choose to do what you want to do. If your book doesn't offer it, find another book that does. So yesterday, I gave out, hold on 1 second. Sorry, I had to tell this person that we're live, yet they were just in here, asking for today's plays. So then yesterday, I gave out Red Bull Salzburg, soccer winner, easy winner. They were up 2-0 by half. I think they ended up finishing up 3-1. Virginia blowout winner, laying the 23. Well, it wasn't a blowout. It was a blowout in the first half. They allowed them to come back in it. But either way, we still cashed. And then Valparaiso, which was the blowout loser. So, 2-1 day yesterday. Another profitable day. Because Valparaiso was $1.12 to $1.22, depending on where you got it. So, Monday was a winning day. Tuesday was a winning day. If you can find something to bitch and complain about, well, sorry. As Henry just said, I can only lead them to the water. I can't make you drink it. If your book doesn't offer, and hell, I didn't even give out team totals. But for everybody, I did give out a team total today in the daily free play video. If you can't bet it because your book doesn't offer it, too fucking bad. Go find a book that does. Hell, there's an offshore on every street corner. If you can't bet a first quarter that's on the board, too flippin' bad. Go find an offshore that can. Hell, I give everybody 2 days of premium plays or my personal plays just for signing up at BetOnline if they use the link on our website. So, anyways, rant over. Rant of the day over. But I'm going to have fun when we get off the live chat, that's for sure. There's a book on every street corner. At least in Philly and Jersey. As well as FanDuel and all of that good stuff. Rich, you can blame me for whatever you want. Bro, the pick? I've already given you the picks. Maybe you should pay attention, Archie, or hit the rewind button. Don't just show up. Frederick Macy says, block me. If you're blocked, I wouldn't be able to read your comment. But, okay, if you'd like me to block you, I can. J-Rock says, send the landscaper to go dig holes in the yard, right? Joe Free, my free play is at minus 155. What does that tell you? Exactly. People are betting it. Well, there's always a rewind button. Margarita Wednesday. Absolutely, Joe. Very shortly with the game starting. Less than 2 hours. David, I appreciate that. Yeah, Dan, hit the rewind button. We did a whole breakdown on that game. Thomas are on the website, cappersdirect.com. Give them out again? No, hit the rewind button. There's a link to the packages. Thomas, you can go take a look at them. Edward, only one thumbs up needed. Lorenzo, right? Right? I've already given you the free plays. If you want them, go hit the rewind button. If you want the breakdowns, go hit the rewind button. Rich, you could blame me for global weather. Global warming, excuse me. You guys crack me up. All right, so those free plays that I gave out. If you know what they are, you know what they are. If you don't know what they are, well, then you might want to hit the rewind button. I think they'll be good today. No thanks, Archie. I'm not in the business of hitting the rewind button for you. Sending me a picture of a Modella. Looks delicious this morning. Michael, definitely going to be a big day today. I don't need to make my show a better show, Archie. You know what makes my show a better show? Saying goodbye. That's what makes my better show better, is saying goodbye to you. But don't worry, everybody. Don't worry, the sound effects machine will be here at some point today. Nina Lee, he was doing so good with the 5-minute breakdowns. What happened? They ended. They're over. They're done. J-Rock says, when it's already the best show, what else you want? Thank you, Penny. J-Rock, I appreciate that. Frank, appreciate that. My timer, I can start it again. $14.5? No, if you miss the boat, you miss the boat. Sometimes it's better just not to play it if you miss the boat. Justin, if you missed it, you missed it. But I will tell you this much. It's only 13.5 at BetOnline. So if you go to our website, the front of our website, which has a post on it at the very top. Create a BetOnline account. Go bet it there. But do it off of our website. That way they know you came from the show. Send me a screenshot. Follow those instructions, and you can get 2 days of premium plays or 2 days of my personal plays free. Daniel, what are the picks here? I got to hit the rewind button. We already went over them. Diamond. It's all good. Yeah, ask me on February 3rd for the Super Bowl pick, okay? But even then, it'll be part of a package. Aaron, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right, everybody. A lot of new trolls all of a sudden. We need that new sound machine to get here with the troll alert, troll alert, troll alert. Gonna have to have that sound effect in there for tomorrow. Remember, everybody, hit that subscribe button when we hit 11,000 subscribers. When we hit 11,000 subscribers, we're going to have some fun giveaways. We're not too far off, just a couple hundred off. Just a couple hundred off. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. The difference is premium plays you get on the website. They're put out by myself and everybody else here at the company. My personal plays, well, they're mine. They're personal. Me, myself, and I. No outside influence, and you get them directly from me. No other outside influence, and you get them directly from me. Frank, don't leave. I've got other things I have to do, like put all my clients on my personal plays. Eric, we're definitely going to have some fun with it. Thank you, Focus Sports. I appreciate that. Sorry, whatever your name was, Matt Modone. We don't allow outside promotion of other sports services. Sorry, Charlie. And I see that you want to keep posting it. So I guess we're just going to have to say goodbye to you as well. See you later there, Matt Modone. You'd think that school got out or something. You'd think that school got out. All of a sudden, an influx of 10, 20 trolls. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Thomas G., very welcome. And remember, Scott, having one losing day doesn't mean you're on a cold streak. Oliver, time to throw some brats in the air fryer. I like it. Sean, you think who's homeschooled? All right, folks. Oh, Rich, that's a good one. The buzzer from The Price is Right for every time somebody says something stupid. All right, folks. Thank you for everybody tuning in. Remember, hit that subscribe button, even you trolls. Definitely appreciate it when you do. J-Rock, I know I went to California public school, so that's not saying much. I probably would have been better off being homeschooled. I think I'm going to cook a bacon-wrapped filet mignon in the air fryer tonight. Right, Focus Sports? Sean, yeah, Archie and Matt Modone. Yeah, they're probably of the same fake accounts, to be honest. All right, folks. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure that you do. Here's a direct link to my Twitter. Who knows, maybe I'll post an in-game wager or something fun there later today. Can't promise you, only when I bet something that I do. There's a direct link to my Twitter at CapNationKyle. Kenyon, what's going on? Haven't seen you in here in a while. Glad to have you tuning in. Never as you're very welcome. Andrew says, sounds phenomenal. I'll have to try it in the air fryer. I haven't had anything that turned out bad in the air fryer yet. Edward's eating Boston Market right now. I can go for some of their mashed potatoes and mac and cheese. Louis, you're very welcome. Anthony Messina, you're a bum. Okay. Says my pocketbook and my record, right? But hey, thanks, Anthony, for tuning in. I guess that makes you the bum for tuning into a bum, right? Or does that just make you a loser? Look at all these fake accounts promoting one site. Somebody's desperate to try and promote their Twitter account that can't even have a real website. You have to use a Wix website. I mean, that's pretty rough. Hey, if you guys want a website, let me know. We have our own in-house web designer that, can make it so that you don't have to use stolen pictures off of Google. But anyways, Juan, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. J-Rock, you're probably correct on that one. Darren Master, hello. Thank you, Jeremiah. I appreciate that. Quincy, hit the rewind button about an hour and a half. Blackened shrimp, absolutely delicious in the air fryer. Scott says earth tone pavers can't go wrong, right? Holy moly says, like your shit, just subbed, forget the hate. I do. I actually appreciate them coming in. They don't realize they're helping us. Ellis, thank you for subscribing. Edward, I need moderators, right? Brandon, what's the lock for the Ravens game? Hit the rewind about an hour and a half. We spent about an hour and a half on that game. Casey, you're very welcome. Tell your dad. Tell Keith thank you. I know, Edward. I probably should. Thomas, it's been like that straight since COVID. I expected it to go away when it was over, but they kept it. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Premium plays will be up on the website shortly. My personal plays, give them about an hour, and they'll be out, maybe less. Will I be showing the game? No. We don't air pirated content. We break down the games, put people on winners. Good luck, Colby. All right, folks, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Enjoy your day. Enjoy those free plays. Good luck, everybody. Always bet responsibly. All right, always bet responsibly. To the trolls, thanks for showing up, getting our views even higher today. We definitely appreciate you just as much as our faithfuls. Simon says, blocking out the haters. Simon, because you said please, there you go. Because you said please, brother, there you go. See, I'm not so spiteful. A please goes a long ways. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Enjoy your day. And we'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow.